Money is a war. Every day you fight it, whether you know it or not. Some people fight without a plan. They wake up, go to work, spend what they earn, and hope for the best. They are not soldiers. They are victims of the battle. Other people fight with a strategy. They know the terrain. They know their enemy. They know exactly when to attack and when to retreat. These people win the war for money, year after year. More than 2,000 years ago, in ancient China, a general named Sun Tzu wrote a book. The book was small, but its power was enormous. It was called The Art of War. Sun Tzu was not writing about money. He was writing about survival, about armies, about kings and kingdoms that could fall in a single day if the wrong decision was made. But here is the amazing truth. The rules that helped generals win wars 2,000 years ago are the same rules that help ordinary people win the war for wealth today. Today, we are going to study 7 battle tactics from Sun Tzu. Each one will teach you something about money that school never taught you. Stay with me until the end, because tactic number 7 is the one that most people never learn, and it is the one that separates the rich from everyone else. Let us begin the war. Chapter 1. Know the battlefield before you enter it. Sun Tzu wrote, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." This is the foundation of everything. Before you can win any war, you must understand the battlefield. In the war for money, the battlefield is not a physical place. It is your financial reality. It is your income. It is your expenses. It is your debts. It is your habits. Most people enter this war blind. They do not know how much money enters their life each month. They do not know how much leaves. They do not know where it goes. They fight without a map, and soldiers without a map always get lost. Think about this. If a general sent his army into a valley without knowing the terrain, without knowing where the enemy was hiding, without knowing where the water and food supplies were, that army would be destroyed. Not because the soldiers were weak, but because the general failed to prepare. This is exactly what happens to most people financially. They are not lazy, they are not stupid. They simply never studied their own battlefield. So here is your first assignment in this war. Write down every source of income you have. Write down every expense, no matter how small. The coffee you buy, the subscription you forgot about, the small loan you took last year. This exercise feels uncomfortable. Many people avoid it because they are afraid of what they will find. But Sun Tzu never told his generals to avoid uncomfortable truths. He told them to face reality directly, because only truth creates real strategy. Once you know your battlefield, you gain something priceless. You gain clarity. And clarity is the beginning of control. The poor avoid looking at their financial reality because it feels painful. The rich study their financial reality constantly because they know that ignorance is the most expensive mistake of all. Know the battlefield. This is tactic number 1. Chapter 2. Never fight a battle you cannot win. Sun Tzu warned generals never to enter a battle where defeat was certain. He believed that a wise leader avoids unnecessary wars and only fights battles that can actually be won. This principle is ignored by almost everyone when it comes to money. Think about how many people take on debt for things that will never bring them value. A loan for a vacation they cannot afford. A credit card used for shoes that will be out of style in 6 months. These are battles that cannot be won. The interest grows. The value of the purchase disappears. The war is lost before it even begins. The rich think differently. Before they spend or invest, they ask a simple question. Can this battle actually be won? Will this purchase, this loan, this investment bring back more value than it costs? If the answer is no, they walk away. Not because they lack desire, but because they understand that fighting a losing battle wastes resources that could be used somewhere else. Sun Tzu also taught that sometimes the wisest move is not to fight at all. Retreat is not weakness. Retreat is strategy.
In money, this means learning to say no. Saying no to a bad investment. Saying no to peer pressure that pushes you to spend beyond your means. Saying no to a business opportunity that looks exciting but has no real foundation. Every time you say no to a losing battle, you preserve your resources for a battle you can actually win. This is tactic number 2. Choose your battles. Walk away from wars you cannot win.
Chapter 3. Speed and timing decide the outcome. Speed is the essence of war, Sun Tzu said. He believed that a swift army, one that moves quickly and decisively, will defeat a slow army every single time, even if the slow army is larger. In the financial world, timing is often the difference between wealth and missed opportunity. Consider debt. Every single day that a debt remains unpaid, interest continues to grow. A debt that could have been small becomes large simply because action was delayed. Speed in eliminating debt is not just helpful, it is essential. Consider opportunities. A skill that could bring higher income, a small business idea that could grow, an investment that could compound over time. These opportunities do not wait patiently for you. They are available for a window of time, and then they disappear or become harder to access. The poor mindset waits. It waits for the perfect moment, for more information, for more confidence. But the perfect moment rarely arrives, and by the time it does, the opportunity has often passed to someone else who moved faster. The rich mindset moves once a reasonable amount of preparation is complete, not recklessly, not without thought, but with the understanding that hesitation itself carries a cost. Sun Tzu did not say to be reckless. He said to be decisive once the moment for action has come. There is a difference between rushing blindly and moving with purpose once your preparation is done. This is tactic number 3. Act with speed once you are ready. Every day of delay has a price.
Chapter 4. Use deception to protect your position. Sun Tzu wrote that all warfare is based on deception. A wise general does not reveal his full strength or his full weakness to his enemies. This does not mean lying or cheating in your financial life. It means understanding something important about perception and privacy. Many people reveal their entire financial situation to the world without thinking. They show off wealth they do not truly have, using borrowed money to appear successful. Or they broadcast their financial struggles constantly, revealing weakness to people who might take advantage of that weakness. Sun Tzu would have seen both of these behaviors as dangerous. Revealing false strength invites disaster because you eventually cannot maintain the illusion. Revealing true weakness invites exploitation because people, employers, lenders, and even friends respond differently when they sense vulnerability. The wiser path is privacy, combined with quiet confidence. You do not need to announce your financial struggles to everyone around you. You do not need to prove your wealth through visible spending. Your financial life is your own battlefield, and not every detail needs to be shared with every person who asks. This protects you in 2 ways. First, it prevents others from making decisions about how to treat you based on incomplete information. Second, it removes the pressure to perform wealth you do not have, or to expose vulnerabilities you have not yet resolved. This is tactic number 4. Protect your financial position with privacy and quiet confidence, not with performance or exposure. Chapter 5. Attack where the enemy is weak. Avoid where they are strong. Sun Tzu taught that a wise army never attacks where the enemy is strongest. Instead, it finds the weak point and strikes there. In money, this principle explains why so many people struggle despite working extremely hard. They are competing in the most crowded battlefield possible. Think about how many people apply for the exact same jobs, sell the exact same products, or try to succeed in the exact same overcrowded markets. This is like an army marching directly into the enemy's strongest fortress. Even brave soldiers lose in this position. The rich mindset looks for the gap, the underserved market, the problem that has not yet been solved, the skill that few people have developed. This is not always easy to find, but it is where real opportunity lives. This principle also applies to personal skill development. Instead of trying to become slightly better at something everyone already does well,
It is often wiser to develop a skill that few people have mastered. A specialized skill, even a small one, can make you valuable in ways that general competition cannot. Sun Tzu's armies won not because they were always the strongest, but because they were smart about where they chose to fight. The financial battlefield rewards the same intelligence. This is tactic number 5. Find the quiet, underserved battlefield. Avoid the crowded wars where everyone is fighting for the same small prize.
Chapter 6. Build strength that does not depend on a single battle. Sun Tzu understood that an army that depends entirely on one supply line, one path, or one resource is fragile. A wise general builds multiple paths to strength so that losing one battle does not destroy the entire campaign. Most people build their financial life around a single source of income, a single job, a single employer. If that one source disappears, their entire financial structure collapses. The rich mindset builds multiple paths, multiple streams of income, multiple skills that can generate value, multiple types of assets, so that if one path weakens, the entire structure does not fall. This does not mean chasing every opportunity at once, which itself is a kind of weakness through distraction. It means intentionally building 2, 3, or more sources of financial strength over time, so that your security does not depend on a single decision made by a single employer or a single market. Sun Tzu's armies that survived the longest were the ones with strong supply lines from multiple directions. The financial lives that survive economic downturns are built the same way. This is tactic number 6. Do not depend on a single battle for your survival. Build multiple sources of strength. Chapter 7. The greatest victory is won without fighting. We have arrived at the final tactic, and it is the one Sun Tzu considered the highest form of strategy. He wrote, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." This is the tactic that most people never learn, and it is the true difference between those who struggle financially their entire lives and those who eventually achieve real freedom. Most people fight the money war every single day. They wake up, they work, they spend, and the battle repeats itself endlessly. There is no end to the fighting because there is no system working on their behalf while they rest. The wisest generals did not want endless battles. They wanted victories so complete that further fighting became unnecessary. In money, this means building systems, assets, and structures that continue working even when you are not actively fighting. A business that operates with systems instead of constant personal effort. An investment that grows through compounding without requiring daily attention. A skill that has been packaged into a course, a book, or a service that sells without your constant presence. These are victories won without fighting every single day. This is the tactic that transforms endless labor into lasting freedom. The poor mindset believes that money can only be earned through direct, constant effort. The rich mindset understands that the goal is to build something that wins the war even while you sleep. This is tactic number 7, and it is the most important one. Build systems that fight the war for you, so that eventually you do not need to fight every single day.
We have now walked through 7 battle tactics from a general who lived more than 2,000 years ago, yet whose wisdom applies perfectly to the modern battlefield of money. Know your battlefield before you enter it. Never fight a battle you cannot win. Move with speed once you are prepared. Protect your position with privacy, not performance. Attack where the competition is weak, not where it is strongest. Build multiple sources of strength, so no single loss destroys you. And finally, build systems so complete that you win the war without fighting every single day. Sun Tzu never imagined his words would guide people through bank accounts and investments. He was thinking about kingdoms and armies, but the truth in his words is timeless because human nature, fear, ambition, competition, and strategy has not changed in 2,000 years. The war for money is real, and it is happening every single day, whether you choose to fight it wisely or not. Remember this, you are not losing this war because you are weak. You are losing because until today, nobody taught you the strategy. Now you know it. Fight wisely, prepare fully, and build a victory that lasts.